Oh, we're live? I'm sitting here looking. Y'all got to give me more than that. Hey, Facebook family. How you doing? I know I look crazy. Things have been going crazy. But we good. We good. Love you. Glad to have you here again for another Advice for Life every Tuesday evening at 8:30. I'm supposed to be 8:30. We're a little behind the day, but thank you for your patience. So I see my folks coming on. Y'all, I'm going to give you a chance to come on. And as you know, I'm always going to give you a little role and background. Look, I got some of the greatest people on the face of the earth sitting here with me today. These folks, I love them. I walk with them for a long time as it relates to marriage. And so I just want you guys to get an opportunity to talk with them, hear their wisdom, hear the kind of things that they've done to be successful in their relationship. But remember, I tell you all the time, share, because it's fair. So what I need you to do is to go down to your device in the left-hand corner. You'll see a little square box that says share. I need you to hit that button. That is going to go out to all your folks, all your Facebook connections, and let them know that we're here live broadcasting Advice for Life. And also remember that we also have our show come on Sundays at 9 a.m. So every Sunday at 9 a.m., you can also stream us on iHeartRadio. Go on iHeartRadio, download the app, and then select Gospel and then Heaven 600, and you can see us every Sunday at 9, or listen to us every Sunday at 9 a.m. So also, you can go on our website, and our website is www.advice4life.us. Again, that's advice4life.us. We have a whole array of shows and that we have done, that we've uploaded there. You can listen to them while you're working out, while you're jogging, riding home to work, on your way home from church, whatever you want to do, you can do that. So just remember that. Remember, some of you that are coming on, I see a lot of you coming on. Remember, if you are listening, and a lot of you I know are listening in the background, just shout out with us. Let us know. Just say hello, say hi. You remember, this is a family situation where we're communicating one to another. We're sharing in this dynamic. So we want you, if you don't make any comment, we will not know that you're there. And I know you're there because after we got done last week, we had 385 people that were looking and viewing the program with us at that time. So I know you're there, and I see the hearts, I see the thumbs up. I know that you're with me. Thank you so much. We tried our new technology today. That's why we were delayed, and we still are working out the bugs. Some bugs keep creeping in, even though we did it the day before. We came down here hours before. We were ready. We were sitting here ready. Trust me. I'm telling you, we were ready. So I just want to take the time to have you meet my wonderful folks. I want them to introduce themselves, tell people who you are, and then say a little bit about how you met as a couple. That'd be nice. So we're going to start over here with Kiki and Derek.
Hey, how y'all doing, Facebook family? Derek Vincent, Kenya Vincent, my lovely wife. We met in high school. First of all, I'm the founder and CEO of Learning to
Yes,
Live
you are,
Again,
brother.
which we help returning citizens, veterans, and families who need help in the system. You know what I'm saying? But I met this lovely woman right here in high school. Chased after her for a while. Couldn't get her. Had to bite the bullet and settle down. And finally got her.
You thought your basketball star, you could get her.
I thought the basketball thing was going to get ain't work.
Didn't do it.
But no, we kind of settled in at an early age, 23 and 22, and we've been here since then. We hanging in there.
Right. Praise God. That's a blessing. Can you want to say something?
Yes, well, I'm Kenya Vincent, and I met this gentleman, ninth grade. We sat in a contemporary American class, and we sat next to each other, and he always used to say, "Hey, kid."
See, the women got the details. The got the details.
And so I used to be like, "Hey, Derek, how you doing, Derek?" So then we got older and we graduated, and then he went to college. I went to college, and then, a couple of years after that,
That was it.
it was it. He came to see me, And he gave me this hug, and it was like fire and desire.
Nice.
And 23 years later, here we are.
Right. So Key, you have a hairdressing business.
I am.
Can
I'm
you-
Key Pizzazz. Key Pizzazz.
Where is it located at?
I am in Catonsville, Maryland now.
Okay.
And so I'm 28 years.
28 years.
28 years.
Now-
Licensed cosmetologist.
Now you giving out your number for people if they want to contact you, or your book full?
Well, we're going to talk about what we're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to talk about what we're
Okay.
going to do
I'm
on
sure.
here, but we'll get to that later.
Okay. It's your choice, baby. It's your choice.
But Leela is on the move, so we're going to talk about Leela and learning to live again, because everyone is learning to live again constantly.
Yes.
So that's our unique name. That's why we call it Learning to
Oh yeah,
Live
that's
Again.
right. She is the co-founder.
I am the co-founder.
Right. So tell them what you do again. Derek.
We help veterans and returning citizens. Man, we get them housing, counseling, transitional and problematic services.
Nice.
From a
Nice.
holistic approach.
And as you know, I'm Al Laws, and this is my wife Aisha Laws,
Hello.
and we are your host. And so I'm gonna keep going to my right.
I'll start for us. My name is Subramani Alpalea Teal. This is my wife, Leslie Teal. How we met? What was it, 1986. True story. I was at Polytechnic High School at a school opening disco. It was called the Poly Disco. I was there with my best friend. Eric B. and Rakim, Ain't No Half Stepping.
Ain't no half.
No, not Ain't No Half. I Know You Got Soul. I'm
Know You
sorry,
Got
I got
Soul.
it wrong.
Okay.
Eric B. and Rakim, I Know You Got Soul came on. I'm by myself dancing, and she walks up behind me and say, "Wow, your buns look great in those jeans." And so
That is not the truth, ladies and gentlemen. That is not
I'm
the
like,
truth.
All kind of yeast to this one.
I clutched my pearls and turned around,
So funny.
and it was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen in my life.
Oh,
We danced for the rest of the night, and I haven't been able to shake her for the last 30 years. So, psych up, actually.
Say psycho.
Psych up. Partially true. Yeah, we did meet at the Poly Disco. I saw her before she saw me.
Yes.
I actually
Let's
thought she
get it
looked great
right.
in her jeans. And, we
Jordashes,
started dancing.
ladies,
That's
Jordash.
right.
Yeah, Jordash and the little Jordash. Yeah.
Them young people, them millennials saying Jordan. Who?
Right.
Yeah.
For the old school
Look
ladies.
it
For the
up. Look
old
it up.
school
Google
ladies.
it. Jordan.
Yeah, so we've been together since then. The most amazing 30 years of my life, and so I'm just so happy to be here. And just a quick note, tremendous blessing to just be a part of this this manifestation. You know, I've worked with Al for years. I met this beautiful gentleman when I was just 27 years old. I'm 46 now, so we're about 20 years into our relationship. And I remember 20 years ago, he and I connecting, him as my big brother, eventually mentor, him sharing his heart for the importance of strengthening families and recognizing that the greatest way that we could do that is to facilitate having a strong family of our own.
Yes.
And to further facilitate that by ensuring that your marriage is at the cornerstone of that family. And so he modeled that with his beautiful wife, Aisha. Me and my wife were newly married, and we sat shoulder to shoulder every day for about 12 years. Yeah. And he would share his heart for creating a platform like this so that he could continue to facilitate and get that message out about the importance of having a strong family through a strong marriage. And I'm just so proud of you, bro. I'm just proud and happy to be here. So I just wanted to say that as well. Yes, sir.
Right. All right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
And tell them again about your organization real quick.
Leading by example.
Yes.
Yes. Leading by example. We're a behavioral health organization. We serve the Baltimore metropolitan area and Harford County. We provide psychiatric rehabilitation services,
Hearts.
therapeutic behavioral service, therapy services, and we are continuing to expand the work that we're doing in the community. So leading by example. check us out. leadingbyexamplellc.com.
Yeah. And by the way, Leslie, who's being quiet, is a head honcho over at Raytheon as an electric engineer. Let me tell you, you ain't gonna meet too many people that are electric engineers. So that's my sister right there.
That's me. That's me, guys.
Did you want to say something, Leslie?
Well, very happy to be here, Laws family. I'm very excited to be here to talk about my husband and I, my king, that I love to serve regularly.
Oh, thank you.
I was 15 and you were 16, right?
Yes, that's how we
So it's amazing just to be able to say that you could be in love with someone at that young age,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So everyone out there, it's possible
It is
that
possible.
you could be in
Yeah,
love.
it's real.
It definitely has been a wonderful ride with you.
Oh, thank you.
Looking forward to our future.
Me too.
Absolutely, keep working at it.
You working it? Y'all working it? Doing it. I've seen it. I've seen it. Living proof. Okay, so Sean and Karen are back again.
All
So you're not
right.
gonna tell your whole story, but I just want you to introduce.
Coach Lane,
They remember. Thumbs up. They
Sean
see it. The
Brooks,
hearts.
Karen Brooks. We're back again, week 2.
Yeah.
Yes, so you guys already know our story, how he turned around in the middle of the street, so we're not going to go back through
That
that.
he turned around. Y'all both did U-turns. That's what I heard.
That's what happened. That's what made it happen. We both got together.
Coach Lane, the top of the village.
So, yes, sir.
26 years, we're still here. Still here, working, making it happen.
All right.
Beautiful.
And again, it is possible.
It is
It
absolutely
is possible.
Somebody has to hear that because, I heard somebody talking about, their thought about getting married. And somebody shouted out, "What do you want to go and do that for? You gonna mess it up." So there's this perspective that somehow that marriage is the gateway to your relationship messing up, not being right. And I think it's because when you get into marriage, when you get into deep relationships, you have a tendency to you're more invested. Your investment is so high at that point. Like you're giving yourself, you're giving all of who you are. And so when you do that, you become more vulnerable. And of course, when we become more vulnerable, we have more defenses that come up. We try to protect ourselves. We'll do whatever we can to make sure that we don't get hurt. And so I think what happens in marriage, you also feel like I have no way out, because when you are just dating and if people are living together, they figure I can leave anytime I want. I'm gonna pack up my bags if it don't work. But when you make that ultimate commitment, like it puts you in another state, because you know that you said, till death do us part, for better or for worse. And so I think people they get into that place. So then their vulnerability gets deeper when they feel they're in that place. But what I love about this dynamic is that I want to talk about, and I'll get to my folks that have chimed in on Facebook. I want to talk about a little bit today. I want them to talk about the things that have worked for them in their relationship, and what they have done, what they have experienced, what they've learned from this time together. All the people here have been married for a very long time. And so even for you young people, even if you're not married right now, trust me, the wisdom you needed now, don't wait until you get married to try to learn how to be married. Learn now. Learn while you can. Get the information. Be wise. Don't be one of those people who step into marriage and have no clue, because you have a less of a chance for it to be successful. So let me check in real quick, Greg. Do you think we should do the check-in now? Are we good?
Can we get a shout out to our business?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So our business is Ananiah LLC. We do insurance, all types of insurance, except for health insurance. And then I just recently started my business, Simply Share Minerals.
Yes.
Check me out on
All right.
www.instagram.
All right.
Simply Share Minerals.
Say it again.
Check me out on Instagram, Simply Share Minerals.
Okay.
It's makeup.
It's a makeup foundation, all natural.
All natural.
All right.
All natural.
And I love it. See?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, you look
beautiful.
good.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So Greg, you want to check in, or you want me to come back?
We could do a check-in. I don't have a mic.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah. Let's see. Where was it? Nadira.
You're going to talk really loud then.
Right. She's talking about how she's crying already and having your pictures. Saying hello to Teal.
Hey, what's up, fam? What's up,
Hello,
man?
family.
The entire Wynn family saying Katrina Sherd is on here.
All right.
Nice. What's up, Trina?
Welcome.
Yeah, Trina Charity is on here.
Charity.
Tracy.
That's my people.
Anybody make any comment? Any particular comment?
Let's see. So D says, so funny. Al said because people ask me that all the time. D, why you want to get married again? He said, I asked them why not. They usually say, well, because it doesn't work.
Right. Well, that's a perception. It's hard. People
Nate
struggle.
had a question too.
It says, yes. What is good and really good about marriage?
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that. That's part of what we're going to talk about.
All right.
We can really go deep into that. Again, I wish my technology had worked better because you would have been able to see everybody at once. And trust me, it's coming, and y'all going to be really blessed by that. So let me jump in. You can bring in the rest of the people later, Greg. So what I want to do is I just want to open it up, to whoever just like to share about, the things that you've learned, things that you feel like have helped you.
Well, I'd like to say one thing that you were talking about first is that when the commitment is not just to the person, because you're going in front of the Most High God, whoever, Allah, whoever you call, you make the commitment not just to my wife, but it's to the Most High. Right. So that's the strongest commitment that you can give. So once you do that, you in. You locked in.
You locked in.
So you're going to have to weather, it's going to be thunderstorms, hurricanes, everything. We know that. We're going to cry, we're going to fight, we're going to scratch, scream, whatever. But the whole thing is we said we're going to be together. We said we're going to stay together. So that's what I put my thought process in. Right. You know what I'm saying? That I speak to the elders, I talk to my pops, I talk to anybody like yourself with some wisdom that can put something to me and say, look, man, everything gonna be all right. Take it easy. Sure. But we pray and we fight, we scratch, but I love this woman, so I wouldn't have got married. That's what I was. If you make the commitment to me, once I make a commitment to, I'm with you. I'm loyal. I'm honest. Right. I'm loyal like that. If I make a commitment to my wife like I did, this is a wrap for me. It's a wrap. That's with anything I do. Sure. So of course it's gonna be like that with my wife. Right. Right. That's how I was since I was a kid. Right. And that's what we have to get back to our youth. Like, there's nothing wrong with making commitments. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just nothing wrong with making commitments. Some people don't even want to go to work and make a commitment to work. This is work.
That's right. That's work.
It is what it is. It's work. So we make the commitment to work through whatever we have. And we have blended families. It's work.
It's work.
It's work. So if you're scared of work, don't get married.
You speak to a lot of people that don't want to work.
I know that.
A lot of folks don't
Don't get married. We love it right here.
Work.
And I like to follow up and continue in the path that my brother has started with, illustrating the importance of the work. And so where I start is from a platform of love.
Yes.
And I think that word has been romanticized and thrown around loosely.
Sure.
But the question that I think is important to pose is this simple one. Are you willing to die for the person you're with? I'm willing to die for my wife.
Right.
And so, I think traditionally you think about, dying for a person. If there was some, robber who came in with a gun, flashing a gun, and he gets the licking off on the room. Would I be willing to dive in front of her? And take the bullet to protect her?
Right.
That's actually the easy way to die, because you're not present in that death to witness your own death.
Right.
The dying that I'm talking about is the dying while you're still alive.
Get deeper with them, brother.
To witness your own death.
Take them there, brother.
See, that is the highest call
Yes.
to love. And Christ demonstrated that in the way that he gave himself for us.
Yes.
And so I follow that example.
Yes.
I have to be willing to die every day
Every day.
while I'm still alive to witness my own death. And so what that means is simply this. Am I able to give up what I love for who I love?
Right.
Can I do that?
Right.
Because when I met her, you know, I was a person who had these ideas, these personality traits, these tendencies, these habits. I had a relationship with comfort.
I love the way.
I had a relationship. He has a relationship with comfort.
Man, my relationship with comfort. I have a very deep relationship with comfort that I had to reevaluate and reassess, because that relationship that I had with comfort, I could not carry into a marriage,
Right.
and create an arrangement with my wife that would allow us to manifest the fullness of the purpose that God had put on us as a union. So what I had to do through practice, continual practice, is to learn how to give up things that did not serve
Right.
our union.
Didn't serve the union.
It didn't serve the union. Most people don't want to give up
No.
the thing that they love.
They don't want to die to.
They don't want to die. And thank you, because it's beyond giving it up.
Right.
When it dies, that means there's no reconciling it or bringing it back.
You're not fighting to get it back.
You're not
It's
fighting
dead.
to get it back. It's dead.
You're not waiting to see if she fell asleep for a minute on it.
Right.
And I'll sneak it back in. Or
But
she'll
you
get used to it.
And you know what's interesting about that, Al? We long for new birth in our life that most of us will never see, because in order for the new thing to be born, something had to die.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely.
So we continue to hold on to these old crutches,
Right.
saying we want what's next.
What's next? But we holding on to that stuff that's dead.
There you
It's
go.
called dead works.
It's called dead works. Now once you learn how to do it, and you're able to successfully execute it, and then you are able to experience the new birth, then to behold that new birth gives you the incentive to try it again.
Right.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But people will behold that new thing, and they would have never seen the death process. They just think this new beautiful thing is something that they want.
Right. They see it. So let's stay on that for a
There you
minute.
go.
So, because what I love what you put in that, I love the picture of Christ dying as an example.
Yes.
And the scripture says, unless a seed go into the ground and die, it cannot, grow root and cannot produce.
Right.
So everything that produces something that's of virtue, that's of long lasting stature, has to go into the ground first and die. And so I love that picture you gave. And then the picture you gave about the fact that we hold on to things that are dead, that really they're not working. Like a lot of people they repeat the same thing over and over again, even though they know it didn't work. It didn't work in the last relationship. It didn't work in 2 relationships ago. But you still do the same things because you have not got to a place where you recognize it's not about you trying to get what you want and what you need. It's about you dying to yourself, to, knowing that relationship is worth you giving up. And so now your accommodation looks different.
Absolutely.
Because now you're accommodating not from a place of you give me a little bit and I'm gonna give you a little bit.
Right.
Now you're going from a place is like I'm okay. I'm vulnerable. I'm okay. I'm really here to really serve and do what is needed for this relationship and whatever makes it work. And if it doesn't serve the relationship, it's dead works. I'm not doing it.
Not doing it.
Well, I think that a lot of times people can't get to the point of being in a relationship because they can't do it as their self-worth as an individual.
Right, right, right.
So they have not been able to do that for themselves, to die for themselves, to even get to the point where they can bring another relationship in to do it in that. So until you grow in yourself, you can't even get to the point where you can have a relationship to die for.
Right. Because you have to be in a place where you are willing to let the lessons that you have grow, maturate. They have to stay there. You have to learn the lessons. That has to so that death happens inside, and then the growth springs from that.
Right.
Yeah.
I would like to add really quick about the accommodating. I think it's important in relationships that you get yourself to the point that you are accommodating out of love, right?
Yes.
Because it's a difference if you accommodate begrudgingly and that you're accommodating out of love, that it's important that you understand who you are with.
Yes.
Too.
There it is.
Because there are character traits, personality traits that we all have that in some cases may not be the best personality trait or character trait.
All of us got that.
To even be accommodating.
Yep.
But in fact, if you love that person, you can accommodate and be way more patient with those personality traits and character traits that they're not real bad, but it's something that you can say, I love that person, and that's just who he is.
Right.
And you can get through the love with that person with all of those things that they come along with, as long as you're patient and accommodating.
Right. Absolutely.
Through love.
Through love.
That's a long way into the relationship to realize that.
Yes.
That's a very long way into the relationship. When you're new, you have to be committed.
Right.
You know, because of all those reasons. But down the road, I spoke last week and I said that each year gets easier and easier. And it gets easier and easier because you come to that realization, and you settle with it, and then the love part is just.
It clicks. It just clicks.
And you know, when you're new, Sean, and you don't understand yourself,
right.
You know, and when you're new, sometimes you can't be accountable for yourself. You got to look at yourself, oneself.
That's right.
See, and then also when you're new, and we're talking about being new, you know, you're saying, I want. I think you should be.
I think you should be.
You know,
what you should do. I know what you should do.
I gotta talk about that.
You know, I gotta talk about that. Okay, because I remember when. I remember when. You know, I felt a certain way that he should have been. Right. And then I was upset. But who I should have been upset was with me.
Right.
And I learned that. Right. You know, because we can't make someone else do and be what we want them to be. But we gotta love them for who they are.
But you took the time to listen.
But we took time to listen.
Time to get there.
It's so funny because I can remember back in our gatherings with leaving the light on.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
boy.
The porch light.
Leaving the porch light on. That was so awesome.
Batting 1,000.
That's a simple thing.
7 years ago,
That is
I
a
was batting
simple
1,000.
Yes. But you couldn't hear it until you wanted to hear that he needed the porch light on.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. And you know what? And connected to Karen and what you were saying, Sean, about being new, trying to do these things when you're new to a relationship, new to a marriage, is very, very difficult. Being able to hear is very difficult. You know, that it takes a growing and maturation in order to get to that point. But I do want to offer just this one piece, which I think will assist. It has assisted me in taking inventory on a semi-regular basis of where I am in my marriage, and I think it could be helpful to others. If you just ask yourself the question, have I given my spouse or significant other permission to help me grow?
Right.
Yes. I love that.
Do they have my permission?
Wait a minute, let me get my notebook.
Yeah. because all of the things that we're talking about,
Where's my phone?
no, really,
Put that down.
all of the things that we're talking about, you know, accommodation, dying to yourself, dying for your significant other. You come to a marriage as a continuation of your human development.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Like spiritually, physically, mentally, we are all in a human development process. The early stages of that process was facilitated by our parents. At the point we get married, we enter into that covenant relationship for the purpose of continuing our human development.
Sure.
Now, if you're entering into that union and you haven't granted
Right.
your wife, your husband, permission to help you grow,
Right.
then the probability of you continuing to grow within that situation is very, very,
Very slim.
very slim. Right. Because we can act like we
Right.
in a relationship.
Don't last long.
You know, I can hear you, but it doesn't mean that your words are able to penetrate my soul, my heart, my spirit, because I don't trust you. I don't respect you. I don't like you.
That's real right there, though.
I know better than you.
Go
No
to
better than you.
Yes.
How you gonna tell me?
Yes.
Look at what you just did. You know, so when you have these barriers and blockades, there's no way
That's right.
that you can have a healthy, fertile union.
Right.
Right.
And that's so important. We were just talking the other day about respect that we have for each other. When you have respect for someone, it's easier to have an argument and get past the argument, even if you don't agree coming out of the argument, but that I respect you and you respect me. And we can respectfully disagree and keep it moving and not make it a major catastrophe, disaster for the
We ain't gonna
relationship.
remember it when we're 90 years old.
Right. That's it.
That's
Right.
what I used to say.
You're
Exactly.
not going to remember it an hour,
Absolutely.
2 hours later anyway.
Right. It's so important to respect each other.
I was going to say that the lack of commitment in keeping with what Teal said, the lack of commitment, I think, is what is keeping the young people young. They're not growing because they won't commit to have anyone help them in their human development. So they're when we were young, when we were kids, we developed faster. We were able to mature faster because we didn't shy away from the commitment side. So I think it's important that we listen to what you shared and get that into our spirit so that we can commit and allow someone to assist us in our human development. I love the way you put that.
That was beautiful.
It's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That was beautiful.
And in fact, I love it because it connects to what we're talking about all the time on Advice for Life, because we're talking about you being aware of your process. So we talk about looking at intentions, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and how those things are all linked together.
Yes.
And so we're giving you skills all the time to teach you how to be aware of that. So if you're in a relationship with someone and you're not aware of what your thoughts and your feelings are, or even how to receive that person's thoughts and feelings in an appropriate way, or you can't communicate in an appropriate way, then you guys will be walking in concert in that relationship, just trying to see what you can get from one another. And so if you're negotiating what you can get, as opposed to what Sputnik just said, that you are in a process where you're saying, I'm open for you to transform my life. Matter of fact, I'm indebted to you. In fact, as he said earlier, I have died to the fact of me saying, I know better than you. I might still think that I know better than you, but in my heart, I recognize, okay, even though I think that, I'm aware of my thought, and now I'm recognizing that sense, that commitment that's inside of me, that I have died to my own thought, and I've lent myself to say, but God has put you in my life. He's put you in my life so I could be transformed, and so you can help me develop. That's why he put you in my life, because he knew I couldn't do it on my own.
And all of these things are connected, Al. So what you just articulated is beautiful, a beautiful illustration of that in process. So then if I'm doing that, what you just said,
Right.
and she, my wife, is witnessing me doing that,
Right.
suddenly I become 60% sexier to her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. At least
And
60%.
man,
At least.
and I'm being modest. I'm being
I'm
modest.
being modest. 60 is
When,
a
she,
low
when
number.
this
You
woman,
lowball that.
when this woman sees me submitted, committed,
That's right.
willing to die for her,
Right.
and I'm walking that out, and she's watching how grueling that process is for me.
You're sexy right now. I'm feeling some of your sexiness.
Man,
For the show.
man, I become bare minimum 60% sexier. Her love increases for me exponentially.
Absolutely.
And she can't help but want to take care of me.
Yes.
I don't have to ask.
You don't have to ask.
Or request her care because
There it
she
is.
sees me in this submitted posture,
Absolutely.
willing to die for her.
Yes.
And I'm just something to behold. I'm just something to behold.
Y'all can't see his eyes.
Something to behold. It is. It is. That's a beautiful thing. But you were saying something.
I was just thinking as you saying that it doesn't, and what he's saying is it doesn't make you a punk. It makes you a king.
Yeah,
It makes you a king.
That grounds you.
Yeah.
That crown. And you know the interesting thing, especially with men want to have a woman who respects them. And it's interesting because the scriptures talk about the fact that it asks the woman and it charges the woman to give respect to the man. But it tells the man and charges him to deal with his wife in an understanding way. So men, a lot of times they reverse it. They want the respect and they want the woman to understand them. They want to be the primary person that's understood. Right. But if you're dying to that and your commitment is, it is my commitment to understand you, babe. It's my commitment to serve you. I am supposed to do what I want you to notice. As Spud was just saying, I want you to notice that my commitment is to serve you. And when you do that, and then you said my commitment is also to understand you. She will reflect back to you that respect, that honor. She will crown you. So God said, I want my woman to treat me like a king. Well, you ain't a king unless you got a queen. And you have to create a queen before somebody's gonna call you a king. And so when we get to that level, to that point, then the flow begins to happen in that way.
Yeah, because one thing you said, but one thing I want to say what Teal said is that I think that everything that we talked about definitely revolves around love, period. Absolutely. That's a definite. But one thing is that you don't have to ask for respect. You don't have to ask to be the king.
Right.
If you're doing what you're supposed to do, it's going to be acknowledged regardless. I don't care in your walk, whatever relationship you in, it's going to be acknowledged. Right. You don't have to say, kid, respect. I don't have to say, kid, you need to respect this. I don't have to because she respected. We would just approach and talk to with a couple, and I don't want to say their names in our family, but they have a marriage for 50 years. And one thing she said to me is that she loved the fact that we fight and are committed together through anything that's going on with us because she wished she had that.
Right.
Now that's coming from somebody that's been in a marriage 50 years.
Right.
Yes.
But people see when you stand together. People see. You don't have to say who the king and queen. People recognize. They recognize that's Al and Aisha Laws. They recognize who you are. You know what I'm saying? They know who you are when you walk through the door. They together for real. They ain't know. Are they really together? No, they together. You know who they are. We together, boss, and you know that. It's a big
together.
difference.
You working. They can see the unity.
Right,
See the unity.
right, the connection. So love, I respect that so heavy because love is the key. I believe that.
Yes.
And you build and destroy and you fight, like Till said, but love is the key to me. Period.
There's power in submission. That's the key. There's power in submission because what you're sharing is the scripture that says that we should submit one to the other.
That's right.
What we need to do is submit one to the other. When we do that, then we get that king queen.
Yes.
Then we get that king queen. And in order to truly submit, you have to be vulnerable. There's no way to do that.
It has to be vulnerable.
There's no way to do that
Yes.
and feel like, oh, I'm going to be safe. I'm going to safeguard myself or build a wall. You can't. You have to tear it all down. And you have to trust God.
Yes.
You have to trust the God in your mate.
Yes.
So I know if I submit myself and I give myself and I am vulnerable and I'm laid out dead,
You do it too.
the
baby.
only person that can protect me is God himself. And I see God in him. So it's going to challenge my husband. It will challenge him. If I am submitted, it will challenge him before God because he's a man of God. It will challenge him before God. Okay, well, what you going to do? She trusts you. How are you going to rise and treat my daughter? And it will challenge me when I see him submitted. Aisha, what are you going to do with my son? How are you going to treat him? I've trusted you with him.
You treat me good.
That's right, baby. Thank you. Hey.
It's amazing how that word submit
Yes.
scares people so much.
Scares people so much.
But it scared me when I was younger. I ain't gonna lie.
But there's power in it.
It is power.
But it's a
in it.
beautiful
It
thing.
is-
Like
it
Sean
is.
said, it's a maturation process. You have to grow up.
You have to grow
You have to
up.
grow up.
And you have to say
It
it's
takes
okay.
time. Yeah, it takes time.
It's okay.
We talked about that last
Last
week.
week,
You
we
gotta
talked
grow
about
up.
it. You gotta
Gotta
grow
grow
up.
up.
You can't have
You gotta be an
baby
adult.
raised.
You gotta be
You
an
can't have
adult.
baby
You
raised. You can't
You
have-
can't.
You gotta grow up at some point.
Yes. And selflessness. You know,
That's right.
unconditional.
You know, I think with one of the things that has helped me tremendously is, you know, we've taught on Advice for Life. We taught about understanding the 7 rules of family strengthening, and the one that we always talk about is not finding fault, or finding the good, extracting the precious from the worthless. I sing that song a lot. The people who watch me, who follow me, know I talk about it all the time because I really believe it's one of the baseline keys for you to start. I mean, I think when you get to a place when you can look at a situation and you can look at a dynamic that's either happening within inside yourself or happening in your interaction with the person that you're dealing with, and you decide that I'm going to look for what is good in what they're giving me. Because you're going to get hit by a lot of things that don't feel good, don't seem good. You know, you don't like it. You know, it crosses your thought pattern about what you have about it. And that thing can shake you. So if you start resonating on that thing, that spot, that blemish, the thing you don't agree with, it's very hard for you at that point to find a place to really hear what they're saying to you. Because you're focused on what you don't like, and you already got you know how people do. You can tell when it's happening because before the person finished saying what they're going to say, you already done said something. They haven't finished yet. So how do you know what they're really going to say? You have already preempted them, and you've decided that now it's time for me to say something about what I don't agree with.
Right.
And I think the thing that I have, and I say this to people all the time, my Advice for Life family, you know I say it all the time, you have to focus. It's a discipline. And it'll help your heart. It'll adjust you when it's coming to you and you're saying within your heart, I'm looking for what their intent is. I'm looking for what they're trying to give me. I'm looking for the good of what they're giving me. And I'm going to deal with that first. I'm not going straight to that. And it makes it a lot. For me, it's made it easier for me to hear the words that are necessary or the message that my spouse is trying to give me so that I can transform in my life that way.
Beautiful.
Yes, definitely. That's one of the first things we learned when we came into the marriage group. I remember that helped me out because me and my wife was in a rocky place. But that and our spirituality, that kind of propelled us to see other couples saying the same thing. Like my wife came right home talking about, yeah, Till get the light. You need to get the light too.
They talk about a situation.
No, because
Wait, the situation came up where Leslie brought up the fact that she wanted Teal to turn the light on when she's coming home from work. So go ahead.
So when that came up, I was like, I can't say what I was going to say. I was like, so when I got home, that was the main component. Like, make sure I put that. And I didn't think of it like that. As small as it seems, but it turned everything around. I was like, really though?
That's right. What we were talking about. So mine was the light. It was the light. Mm-hmm. But we were talking about it was synonymous with other things. What is your light? Like what is that small thing that if that other person does that, it's not a really big deal, but what is that small thing that person can do or could do to say I'm thinking about this other person or I'm putting that person first in my thought process by doing this thing. It doesn't have to be the
You're right, because it sparked conversation just like that. All the mini me's, all the little stuff. Well, I like my sandwich like that. So it started regular conversation, but it started conversation.
Right. And just that one thing.
Said
about the light. Even though it may not have been the light for us or the light for you guys, but it clicked the light on for us to know that there is something little that each one of us may need that we need to pay attention to.
Right.
Now, what was so beautiful when that process was happening, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Yes. I was trying to understand what Leslie was trying to say, because I was saying the light is that, and I'm watching and I'm joining with my brother, right? So me and him are connected. Like I'm like saying, and I'm trying to, I want her to have what she want, but I want to rescue him. Like what the light? What do you mean the light? I mean, please, I don't understand about the light. Are you? And I think it was so beautiful because there was a lot of exchange that we had in that. Yes. This is at one of our retreats. Yes. But the beautiful thing, I saw my brother stand there, even though it was confusing to him. He's probably saying to himself, my wife know I love her. She know what I do for her. She know what I do for my family, but she talking to me about this light. but he stood there. I watched him. He was silent, receiving, trying to get past his own thinking, his own thoughts about what is this about a light, and that created the dynamic for all of us to say, "Wow, we saw them in that process, and it was so beautiful when we came out of it that we all left with, okay, I got to find out what my wife light is. It may not be a light. She might not be turn the light, but it's something she wants me to do that's important to her to that level that I might not understand." It may not make any sense to me. And so that's what happens in couples. They think it has to make sense to them before they take action for the other person.
Wow. My husband, he doesn't understand why I need to have the kitchen cleaned a certain way. He's like, oh, it'll get clean when it get clean. The kitchen was my light. The kitchen was my light.
That's right.
And now that I've left the house to go out and work, and he's in the house, he can dirty the kitchen up as much as he wants to.
Dirty this kitchen.
All is clean when she get home.
When it's time for me to get home, he be like, I got to get this kitchen clean before she get home.
That's her light.
That's her light. She want the light on when you get home, when you want your kitchen clean.
And you know, with Dark, when you say about the light, now, honey, when I pull up, he opens the door for me. And I'm like, yes.
You all kind of classy like that. You like that kind of classy stuff.
I do. I mean, when we pulled up yesterday, he was opening the door and had the door open, and I was running in. It was raining. I said, yes, honey.
I'm learning Facebook.
See, that sound right there means you got 60% sexier. Yes. That's what that means. 60%
Everybody should be striving for.
I'm trying for 80. I'm trying for 80. And some other stuff happened at 80. That's a B. I'm just trying to get a B. But 60% is the minimum.
Right.
It's automatic. It's given to you.
As men, we just learn over the time that things mean a lot to them that just don't mean anything to us, but it's about what means something to her.
That's right.
Simple as that.
That's right.
I talk about Dad. Dad always opens the door and opens the door and closes the door. And I used to always say, I was like, that is so sweet that he does that. He opens the door for me.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I heard that, and Dad is special. He got a swag about him that nobody else. Okay. So I wasn't gonna try to compete with that. Okay, right, but I'm be honest with you. I'm gonna name Dalton Stanley. We're in another operation that we've been working with. And he's the CEO of this operation, and we'd have meetings. And then when the meeting was over, we would go to the parking lot and leave together. And that brother would open the door for his wife, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to step my game up. Because for real, if I'm representing with him in this operation that we're in, I'm gonna have to act. I mean, he definitely was 60% high on that effort. Okay, so I gotta step up 60%. So yeah, so 2016 was. Yeah, I learned a few things.
Yeah, that's
but you know what? Our kids look at that. Our nephews and these. Because I walked since I was younger. I always walked my aunts. All my aunts, from my grandmothers to my aunts, any woman in the family, my wife would tell you I walk them to their car, make sure they get where they're going. But all my nephews and them, that's what they remember. So they watching. They watching how I treat kids. You know what I'm saying? They revere us as a real relationship, a real. When they come at you, they like, at least y'all have a real marriage. At least because that's how it is out here.
Some people have not even seen a long-lasting relationship.
They haven't. That's
marriage.
what I'm saying. They haven't. So that's why this is such a beautiful thing. Because they haven't, and we tell them we in a group with some individuals who really believe and love each other, and that's what we do.
And want to be married.
Right.
And they just like. That's just unbelievable. Because of what you don't think like that, but that's what they see.
That's right.
That's what they see. So we try to enlighten and put light to that. Like, no, I love your aunt. I love my wife. And we keep it clear. But they see that, so they're going to emulate certain things, and that's some things that they do. No, I got it. I'm gonna walk. They're getting older.
Beautiful.
So that's what we have to show that to them. Period.
And so one piece that stands out for me as a common thread, as we've been talking in this last few moments, among all of us, is that we have invested in taking care of each other. We have invested in taking care of each other, and made an investment that goes beyond what many people could interpret as care. Like, well, I pay the bills, the lights on, it's food in the refrigerator, so you taking care of, or but the care that I'm talking about is the care that is something that you're doing of service to your spouse. That is specifically about them and nothing else. It's just specifically about them and nothing else. And I've learned over the years that in order to keep not only the light on in the porch, but the light on in our hearts and in our relationship, that my consistency of paying attention to her, studying her.
Studying it. Oh, I like that.
And she's so pretty, so
that's what I was getting ready to say. Boy, this is a good study over
there. Just watch her.
Yeah, all these ladies on this.
It's a good study. Man.
Yeah, just study her, watch her.
That's why y'all can stay together, y'all.
But just studying her and watching her and knowing her and picking out a few things that I know moves her, that's important to her. It might not be my thing.
That's right.
But it's her thing, and I want to show up every day with something as a representation of my love, and just addressing that and meeting that for her on a daily basis. So
and that's very important, because what I'm going to say is that I feel the same exact way about you.
I know, baby.
And part of our fight is, how can I serve you better? No, how can I serve you better? We actually get into exchanges of, no, I'll do it. No, I'll do it. And it's interesting, because it's like, wow, we have this overwhelming, who's going to win this servant for the day, kind of thing. And when you get to that point, it is just,
it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It's so natural. It just feels so good that that's the exchange or intensity that we could get into.
I'm arguing about who's going to outdo the other one in love and service.
Exactly. And I mean, and it is a wonderful thing.
So that's beautiful. I would like this to go on and on because y'all are such fantastic, great people. I know all my family up there, my Facebook family, have been putting up their thumbs and their hearts and letting us know that they're with us. I got people from all over the place, from different states. I just want to remind you that we come on Sunday mornings. We've added in February. We'll be adding in February on Tuesdays. We will be on at 12 a.m. I'm sorry, 12 a.m. So that means that in California they'll hear us at 9 o'clock p.m. So those folks in California, now you can get on Tuesday evening and listen to us, Advice for Life streaming to you on iHeartRadio. We're also on Sunday mornings, Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. And you can, again, download the iHeartRadio app and hit gospel and then Heaven 600. Some of you who have come on late, please go ahead and share, because I say share, it's fair, because you're not paying for this. You're getting this from our hearts. We're giving this to you so you can at least share it and help us share it. So go down to the left-hand corner of your device, your iPad or your phone, and hit share. Even though they'll get the end of this program, the people that are around you will know about us. And when you see us on Facebook, repost us. Make comments on the show, and we will really appreciate that, because that will help us get the word out about Advice for Life. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to just shout out to shout out to our Facebook family who have come on. So Greg, if you could speak up so we can hear who is there and give us some comments.
So y'all been rolling. Let me preface by saying y'all been rolling. La Focused says
that's someone new. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. Says you have to like the people, because you fall in and out of love with a person. But if you like and respect them, that goes a long way.
It goes a long way.
Right.
I see Ina Pullum. She's a friend of ours from Florida.
Hey, Ina.
And Mike.
Yeah.
Yep.
Albany Teal.
Nice.
Says, my parents are so cute. Really loving this. My biggest role model.
Nice. Wow.
Right.
That's what you want from your children.
Yay.
Bernadette Johnson says 2 of anything is better than 1.
Right.
Conditional love.
Yes.
Yes.
Nadira says, we don't have no time limit tonight. We'll eat up all this wisdom for as long as y'all.
I appreciate that you're there. I appreciate you there, but I've learned that, make you beg for more. That's not.
Ayana, she says.
Hey, Ayana.
Says, talking about commitment, says it used to scare me too, but you have to submit to yourself first.
Yes.
Grow up.
And
Yes.
to God.
Yes.
You submit to yourself and you submit to the God in yourself.
Yes.
And
There it is.
because you got to commit to him.
Ashley Kira.
Nice. Hey,
I
Ashley.
don't recall that name, so I don't know if she's a new timer. Says, so glad I tuned in.
Nice.
Loving the conversation. Love you, Leslie and Teal.
Nice.
Nice.
That's Ashley from Leading by Example. I think that's Ashley.
That's
Ashley.
that's so sweet.
Nice.
Love you too, Ash.
And Ina Pullum, you said, great conversation for us all.
Okay. Nice. Thank you all for joining in. Remember, every Tuesday at 8:30. I said 8:30. Every Tuesday evening at 8:30 with Advice for Life. We appreciate you joining us. As you can see, you have just had an opportunity to get a wealth of wisdom and insight, as we always try to bring it. We try to bring it real, bring it fresh. As I always say, I see my man, he got it. I told you, remember, next week, Tuesday at 8:30. And remember what I always tell you, because Till helped me with it. I said it's in the socks. Show them them socks, son. I love them socks. It's in the socks. It's in the socks. I'm telling y'all it's in the socks. So we'll see you next week. We love you. God bless.
Good night.
Bye. Yay.
Bye.
Good night.